Hi everyone, I'm the Limitless Librarian and welcome to the third video in a series of videos recommending books to Homestuck trolls. This month is Gemini's troll, Sollux Captor, and boy did I leave this one to the 11th hour, literally as it's 11 PM on Friday the 21st of June, which is basically the last day of the Gemini star sign. So sorry about that to all the Geminis who have been waiting for this one. As I said, this is the third video in this series. I've already covered Aradia and Tavros, so links to those in the description, going through one troll a month in hemospectrum order. Without further ado, let's get on to Sollux's recommendations. I have 8 books with an asterisk to recommend to Sollux. So let's start off the video with where Sollux's name comes from, because Sollux Captor, if you swap the S in Sollux and the C in Captor, you get Sollux Castor, and those are the names of a pair of twins in Greek mythology. They were actually the brothers of Helen of Troy, and so they were involved in the myth of the Trojan War. So my first recommendation is Homer's Iliad, which details that story, and presumably they will appear in it. They're also on the Argo, so maybe check out a version of Jason and the Argonauts as well if you're interested in the mythological inspiration behind Sollux's name. As a bonus, this is the asterisk I said before, I have a graphic novel adaptation of the Iliad as well. My next recommendations relate to his aspect of doom and his role as a prophet, foretelling of doom. The first being Just Doomed by Andy Griffiths, which is a collection of funny stories relating to being doomed. It's a bit of a silly book because it's Andy Griffiths, it's humorous. Truth be told, I don't actually remember any of the stories in this one. I read it very long ago and I haven't read it again since. Each of the Just books has kind of a theme, like Just Disgusting has gross stories, Just Annoying has stories about annoying people, Just Tricking has stories about practical jokes. Spoiler for John Egbert's video. So yeah, this is about being doomed in a funny way. Also carrying on this humorously doomed idea is The Prophet and the Idiot by Jonas Jonasson. This book is about a kind of a crazy road trip type situation between two characters, one who is the titular idiot who cannot do anything except cook really well, and the idiot is a very intelligent woman who keeps insisting that the world is going to end in a number of days, and it causes shenanigans. So you have to see in the book whether that comes true and how that leads to shenanigans. The next one I have relates to Sollux in 2 different ways, and that is the Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel series. This is the first book, which is The Alchemist. This is an urban fantasy YA series featuring a pair of twins, which is the first way this relates to Sollux, who are prophesized to either save or destroy the world, hence the whole prophesizing doom aspect. And it involves figures from a bunch of different mythologies, all sort of crisscrossing in this world. My next recommendation relates to Sollux's psionic powers, and that is Carrie by Stephen King. As you'll recall from Homestuck, Sollux has these psionic powers, which you can usually keep under control, except when he eats the mind honey. Do not eat the mind honey, everyone. And those psionic powers going berserk leads to the accidental death of Aradia. And so Carrie deals with a girl named Carrie who has telekinetic powers, and she struggles to control them, and let's just say, ends up in a bit of a similar situation to Sollux. The next two recommendations deal with Sollux's interest in programming and computer science. I was kind of surprised I didn't have more books on this sort of vein, because that's kind of the brand of sci-fi that I really like. The first one is The Complete Robot by Isaac Asimov, which is a collection of all his stories about robots, and a lot of them center around a robot causing some kind of interesting problem and the characters having to figure out what went wrong. So it feels like a very sort of programming, sort of testing, debugging sort of situation a lot of the time. I only have a little bit of programming experience, having taken 2 programming courses and having learned a bit of MATLAB in numerical analysis last year. So definitely well below Sollux's level, but I can definitely see the parallels within these stories. I really like this book. This is one of my favourite books. The other book I have in this theme is The God Game by Danny Toby. This is about a group of teenagers who play this immersive augmented reality game that has implications in the real world, and at first it seems great, but then things go south and get really, really scary really fast. And so there are a lot of nerdy, geeky references, a lot of technology and computer sciencey programming, hacking going on in this book, so I think Sollux would appreciate that, especially as this is actually the similar game in a way to Spurb and Scrub, which is what they play in Homestuck. That too is an augmented reality game that has real implications for the real world. So if I was doing a general Homestuck book recommendations for Homestuck fans, this book would be on it. The last recommendation is kind of silly, but this book has literally been right here all semester, and that is Linear and Nonlinear Programming, which is my optimization textbook for uni this semester, because I genuinely think that this subject will be very interesting and relevant to Sollux. When we say programming, it's not literal computer coding like what Sollux does. It's about maximization and minimization, or well, optimization more generally, and a linear program is basically just a setup of equations and constraints to allow us to figure all that out. However, a lot of the methods are very algorithmic and iterative, which I think Sollux would be interested in. And wouldn't you know that every single linear program has a corresponding linear program called a dual? And what is one of Sollux's main themes? Duality. And there are even theorems in optimization called the duality theorems, weak and strong duality. So there you go. Recommending a uni textbook to a fictional character. Things that could only happen on the Limitless Librarian channel. So with that, thus concludes my video recommending books to Sollux Captor from Homestuck. If you like that, please check out the videos I've done on Aradia and Tavros if you haven't already. And please like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the rest of them. Next month is Cancer, which is my zodiac sign. So we will do Carcat's recommendations there. But before then, because we've done 3 trolls, I will do the first of the kids, John Egbert, between Sollux and Carcat. And with that out of the way, do lots of maths, read lots of books, do some more maths, read some more books, and I'm sure you'll have a terrific day.